A loaded-up pickup can drain $4,700 in repairs before its first oil change. That ambush strikes thousands of owners every single year. In the next 18 minutes, we'll dissect 20 trucks consumers now avoid like flooded Fords, reveal the hidden weak spots mechanics won't advertise, and name the once legendary badge that just got yanked off Consumer Reports' recommended list. Trucks are America's work boots. When the soles split, your wallet limps for years. Let's tighten the laces and step straight into the evidence. Car number 1. Subaru Baja. Ever wonder why a vehicle can be both cult classic and lot orphan? Meet the Subaru Baja, the half-car, half-truck that tried to surf two waves and wiped out on both. It looked like an Outback wearing a tool belt, yet ranchers dismissed it as flimsy while wagon fans groaned at the stubby bed. Early excitement chilled when that 2.5-liter boxer started misting coolant around 80k miles, head gasket blowouts that now fill a subreddit of horror photos. Fuel economy hovered at just 19 mpg, worse than many full-size V6s, ballooning travel budgets overnight. But that's not all. The midgate rattled, the bed couldn't swallow a mountain bike without dangling the wheel, and dealership parts often took weeks. Resale nosedived 40% in 3 years, trapping adventure seekers in underwater loans. One mountain guide finally rented a real pickup to haul kayaks for clients. Tough lesson. Define your job, then buy the tool. Precision matters. Car number 2, Chevrolet Silverado 100 Hybrid. Here's the paradox. The first full-size hybrid pickup saved only a sip of fuel, yet drowned owners in electrical headaches. Chevy's Eco Silverado promised Prius-like conscience in a workhorse body, but the two-mode system weighed 30-75 extra pounds and boosted city mileage by just 3. When the inverter overheated, the truck lurched into limp mode, often while towing, with no shoulder in sight. Warranty swap, $4,200. Parts only. It gets worse. The 300-volt battery lives under the rear seat. One Arizona road trip cooked cells triggered a recall and stranded families in a 115-degree heat. Owners in colder climates saw the flip side. Sub-zero mornings disabled electric assist, turning the pricey hybrid into a sluggish gas-only brick until spring. Meanwhile, towing capacity dropped nearly 1,000 leveled versus a standard 5.3 V8, so buyers paid more and hauled less. GM sold fewer than 250 units the first year noon rush sales. Depreciation 62% in 3 years. Compare lifetime costs, not launch day hype. Wallets win. Car number 3. Toyota Tundra. Picture this, you're 3 hours into a camping trip when the brand new 2022 Tundra flashes limp home and crawls at 40 mph. Pair up a mountain grade. A truck wearing Toyota's reliability halo just melted its turbo wastegate and the RV behind is leaning on the horn. Warranty claims flooded service bays, failed wastegates, rear axle nuts walking out, 14-inch touchscreens rebooting mid-navigation. The reason this is happening, Toyota rushed twin-turbo tech from Lexus into a heavier duty cycle without real-world shakedown, then paired it with an unproven multi-link rear end. Result: vibration loosened hardware and sensors seeing ghosts. As soon as we opened the diff cover, metal glitter poured out, warns Master Tech Luis Ramirez, who now triple-checks lot numbers before ordering parts. Sales touched 104K, yet Consumer Reports yanked its coveted recommended badge, the first full-size Toyota to lose it. Contractors are renting F50s while waiting 8 weeks for back-ordered axles. Trust evaporates fast. Always read first-year service bulletins before dropping cash on any redesign. Car number 4, Toyota T100. In 1995, carpenter Miguel traded his trusty Hilux for Toyota's new full-size T100, lured by a brochure promising American-scale capability. 2 weeks later, the lumberyard forklift loaded sheets of plywood, and the underpowered 3.0-liter V6 wheezed up the on-ramp like a shop vac full of nails. Highway merges turned white-knuckle, and towing his 2,500-pound trailer meant second gear climbs at 45 mph with semis blasting past. Early production brought a head gasket recall, costing Miguel 3 workdays and a rental van. But listen to this. Despite Toyota's rock-solid reputation, resale fell fast because buyers realized the truck sat awkwardly between mid and full-size, lacked a V8, and offered no extended cab until late in the run. Worse, contemporary domestic pickups delivered 215-230 HP, leaving the T100's 150 horses embarrassingly behind, and parts like clutch master cylinders cost double thanks to import tariffs. Insurance data show average ownership lasted just 4.2 years, short for a Toyota. Dependability alone is not enough. Match specs to the job before you sign. Car number 5, Lincoln Blackwood. Luxury should enhance function, not smother it. Yet the Blackwood treated practicality like clutter hidden under plush carpet. Borrowing the F-150 frame, designers swapped a usable bed for a power-tonneau, stainless appliques, and a velvet-lined box owners feared to scratch with groceries. The truck launched at $52,000 Escalade money, yet shipped only in rear drive. One paint color and gears that capped towing at 7,200 level. It gets crazier. The powered cover jammed, trapping tools until dealers dismantled half the truck. Water seeped in, soaking carpet and shorting cargo light harnesses. Insurance reports tagged it with the highest theft claim rate in class. Navigator interior bits were gold on the black market. 5 independent surveys ranked it dead last in owner satisfaction, a rarity for any Ford-based product ever recorded. Production fizzled at 3,383 units, so replacement tail lamps now fetch collector prices online. Form without function is just expense. Before splurging on upscale trim, verify the core capability still meets your needs. Car number 6, Chevrolet SSR. Ever seen a pickup auditioning as a beach cruiser convertible? Chevy's SSR strutted in with retro fenders, a retractable steel roof, and a $42 K sticker, more than a base Corvette. Fun ended when owners tried hauling anything thicker than a surfboard. The carpeted bed measured barely 4 feet, squeezed by arched fenders. Early 5.3-liter models crawled to 60 in 7.7 seconds, and heat-soaked transmissions slipped after spirited drives. Owners in warm climates reported differential temperatures topping 250 F on short highway runs, triggering dash alarms and limp home modes. But that's not all. The origami roof relied on 8 hydraulic cylinders. One fluid leak froze panels mid-cycle and demanded 2 GKs in parts alone. Dealers lacked training, so repairs dragged for months while owners rented Civics. GM added power in 05, yet sales slid below 9,000 units as buyers saw the midlife crisis vibe came with minivan practicality. Depreciation hit 50% by year 3, erasing collector dreams. Identity matters. Choose a truck that does real truck things before chasing nostalgia. Car number 7, GMC Canyon. A mid-size price tag once looked like a sweet shortcut to truck ownership, until owners learned the discount came with a 5-cylinder time bomb. Consumer Reports flagged the Canyon's 3.5-liter inline-5 for cylinder head porosity that let coolant vanish faster than weekend plans. Many engines grenaded before 80k miles, while GM quietly extended warranties in small print. Dash clusters flickered, fuel gauges lied, and ignition switches ghosted the key mid-drive. It gets worse. Sales collapsed from 36k to barely 2k by 2012, so parts pipelines dried up. One Missouri contractor waited 7 weeks for a simple valve lifter set. Dealers kept just one Canyon in stock, mostly as a demo nobody demoed. Insurance analytics reveal the average owner unloaded the truck after 28 months, the shortest retention in class. Cheap isn't cheerful. Before buying budget iron, price the likely repairs and the downtime. Car number 8, Chevrolet Colorado. Imagine merging onto the interstate when your truck coughs, drops a cylinder, and flashes 6 warning lights like a Christmas tree in August. That's the first-gen Colorado's hello, courtesy of the same flawed inline-4 and inline-5 heads the Canyon wears, plus brittle valve seats that crumble into the combustion chamber. Owners nicknamed the failure the Colorado Crater. Warranty replacements spiked so high GM's service network rationed heads by zip code. The reason this is happening: engineers chased MPG by shaving metal, thinning walls, and skimping cooling passages. Great on paper, terrible in 10105 top F stop-and-go traffic. Electrical gremlins piled on burnt-out brake lamp switches, dead HVAC resistors, and clusters that blacked out like stage lights. Resale collapsed 65% in 4 years, a record in the segment. Know the ticking tell, inspect service records for head swaps, or steer into a later redesign with proven engine. Car number 9, Dodge Dakota. Jake, a landscaper from Tulsa, bought a brand new 205 Dakota, thinking mid-size dimensions and V8 grunt were the perfect blend. By year 2, he'd replaced upper ball joints twice, chased a mysterious drive shaft vibration, and listened to the 4.7-liter clatter like a sewing machine full of nails each cold morning. Valve seat failures soon robbed cylinders. The replacement quote topped $4K's half the truck's book value. But listen to this. Chrysler never issued a full recall, so thousands drove ticking time bombs until catastrophic stalls on busy highways. Meanwhile, the HVAC blower burned resistors every summer, leaving crews sweating in July heat while job deadlines slipped. Sales slid from 100k to 10k, and parts bins followed. Junkyards became the unofficial dealership. Middle ground can sink. When a tweener truck grows the weight of a full-size without its durability, reconsider going big or going elsewhere. Car number 10, Ford Explorer Sport Track. Spread your payments over 7 years and a truck should outlive the loan. So why did thousands of Sport Track owners unload theirs halfway through? The answer starts with Ford's cost-cut practice of bolting a pickup bed onto an SUV chassis without beefing up the notorious 5R55 transmission. Clutches glazed, overdrive bands snapped, and towing a modest base boat sometimes sent the gearbox into permanent neutral before 70k miles. Owners who stuck with it met timing chain rattle, broken interior door handles, and a wheelbase too short to calm highway sway. It gets crazier. A 2010 NHTSA study logged higher rollover rates than crew cab rivals, partly because those squishy Explorer coils reacted badly to trailer tongue weight. We wrote the same repair order 3 times in 18 months, admits former dealership foreman Dana Ellis. Resale values plunged 45% in 4 years, the steepest drop in its class. Loans deserve durability. When an automaker Frankenstein's 2 platforms budget for double the problems, then shop something purpose-built instead. Before we dive into the next batch of mechanical minefields, hit subscribe and ring the bell. That single click could save you 4-figure repair bills on your next truck. Share this video with the friend bragging about bulletproof pickups. Let's keep their wallet intact too. Car number 11. Hummer H3T. Why buy a truck famous for conquering deserts if it overheats on a grocery run? The short-lived H3T packed the same inline 5 that cursed early Colorados, and climbing a moderate grade could spike coolant temps past 240 degrees, forcing limp mode while minivans sailed by. Rock crawlers discovered differential vents that sucked in creek water, frosting gears with rust by the next oil change. GM never issued a retrofit, but that's not all. The roof-mounted wiring chafed against the cab during off-road flex, shorting dome lights and, in 2 documented cases, igniting headliners. Replacement parts turned elusive after Hummer's 2010 shutdown. One owner waited 93 days for a driveshaft yoke, sidelining a $40 K toy. Insurance analytics record the second highest claim severity in mid-size trucks, beaten only by luxury exotics. Parts scarcity punishes wallets. Before chasing niche nameplates, confirm the brand and its supply chain will still exist when you need help. Car number 12. Hummer H2 SUT. Surprising insight, a 6,600-pound pickup can actually lose braking distance when you add bigger rotors. If the hydraulic lines boil first, the H2 SUT's curb weight demanded diesel-class hardware, yet GM stuck with half-ton braking components that warped after a single mountain descent. Owners funded endless rotor swaps, then faced front diff failures when 37-inch aftermarket tires met fragile half-shafts. It gets worse. Fuel economy settled at 10 mpg city, 13 highway. That meant 300 miles per $100 tank during an era of $4 gasoline. It felt like throwing 20s out the window every hour, jokes former owner Marcus Lee, who traded his for a used F-250 and instantly halved fuel stops. Load a pallet of sod and the bed rails flexed because engineers hollowed them to save weight, only to coat the gaps with plastic chrome. Ownership satisfaction plunged below 40% by 208, according to J.D. Power. Heavy isn't always hardy. Weigh ongoing fuel, tire, and brake costs before falling for an overbuilt image. Car number 13. Isuzu I-Series. Imagine cresting a lonely stretch of I-80 when the engine note drops from steady hum to coughing rattle, coolant gauge spiking, and every warning lamp glowing like neon. You've just met the I-Series' infamous porous cylinder head, a defect that lets coolant flood combustion chambers without mercy. Tow fees rival mortgage payments because Isuzu's dealer map shrank to 40 rooftops by 208. The reason this is happening, Isuzu badge-engineered Chevy Colorado hardware, but never funded the warranty war chest GM needed. Parts supply collapsed the moment corporate pulled the exit chute. Parts vanished overnight. Owners waited months for basic sensors, and rental reimbursements expired long before UPS showed up. Insurance data lists the truck with the highest days lost per claim in its class, mostly for component back orders. Resale values plunged into 4-figure territory while identical Colorados fetched 40% more simply for having serviceable backing. Buy the clone, inherit the orphan fate. Choose a model with robust parts support. Brand stability trumps novelty every time. Car number 14. Cadillac Escalade EXT. Realtor Denise loved showing million-dollar listings in her pearl white EXT until the rear air suspension sagged like a popped air mattress outside a client's open house. The compressor failed, sensors lied, and tire wear doubled before 50k miles. Luxury turned into liability. But listen to this. The second-gen 6.2-liter introduced cylinder deactivation that collapsed lifters, shredding cams and peppering oil with metal flakes. Average repair $3,800. Electronics added insult. Power running boards jammed mid-deploy. Door handles snapped with winter gloves. And navigation screens rebooted during turn-by-turn prompts. J.D. Power tracked owner satisfaction diving below mainstream Silverados, despite a sticker over $60 Kers. As fuel prices spiked in 2008, resale fell 52% in 2 years, and lenders shortened loan terms to mitigate risk. Even prestige buyers bailed, trading for crossovers that simply turned on every morning. Status fades fast. Before paying for premium badges, verify the mechanical pedigree matches the price. Car number 15, Lincoln Mark LT. Badge prestige means little if it hides yesterday's engineering. The Mark LT dressed an F-150 in chrome grills and stitched leather, but left the 5.4-liter Triton V8 unchanged, complete with spark plugs that bonded to heads like welded studs. Dealership extractions averaged $900, and broken shards sometimes fell into cylinders, doubling the bill. It gets worse. Cam phaser tick grew into full timing chain rattle by 80 miles, while vacuum-actuated 4x4 hubs failed to lock, turning snowy driveways into embarrassing slip-and slides. Owners also fought window regulators that quit without warning, and HVAC blower resistors that fried during holiday road trips. Chrome can't tow. Insurance actuaries flagged the truck for above-class claim frequency, squeezing premiums higher than a Platinum F-150 that actually offered newer tech. Sales free fell 64% in 2 years, prompting Ford to drop the model and fold its Lux features into mainstream trims. Don't pay twice for the same truck. Demand tangible mechanical upgrades when a brand asks for premium money. Car number 16, Suzuki Equator. Why did a truck-sharing Nissan Frontier bones manage to become even rarer than a gull-wing DeLorean? Suzuki's Equator launched as the small brand's Hail Mary, but showroom managers soon whispered the hard truth: warranty parts arrived slower than snail mail. Early V6 models risked the infamous radiator into transmission coolant leak that turned ATF into strawberry smoothie. One mix-up could toast a $3,500 gearbox overnight, but that's not all. Suzuki quit the US market in 2012, instantly shrinking the dealer network from 250 rooftops to a handful of legacy service centers. Owners chasing recall fixes found phone lines disconnected and parts on intercontinental backorder. Insurance data flagged the Equator with the highest repair delay index among midsize pickups. Days stretch into months. Resale crashed 58% in 3 years, and rental agencies refused buybacks, citing uncertainty over future support. Availability matters. Before buying any badge-engineered niche model, confirm that both the parent brand and the parts pipeline will outlive your loan. Car number 17, Mitsubishi Raider. Surprising insight: a truck can vanish from sales charts faster than a limited edition supercar. The Raider, built on Dodge Dakota underpinnings, sold fewer than 10,000 units at its 206 peak, then free fell to single-digit monthly tallies by 209. Buyers soon learned that front ball joints wore out before 40 miles, blower motors fizzled in midsummer, and V8 models faced torque converter shudder on modest uphill grades. It gets worse. Mitsubishi's shrinking stateside footprint meant specialized parts like manual transmission clutch switches recalled for inadvertent in-gear starts sat on boats for weeks. Body panels unique to the Raider became junkyard only, inflating collision premiums 19% above the segment average. One Texas plumber parked his Raider for 6 months, awaiting a simple HVAC control head, ultimately buying a used Tacoma to keep contracts alive. Niche without support equals headache. When a platform clone is offered by a fading brand, choose the original or step away entirely. Car number 18, Jeep Gladiator. Picture cresting a rutted fire road, rooftop tent swaying, when your steering wheel begins a spooky shimmy. Jeep's infamous death wobble, just as a cliffside switchback looms. The Gladiator promised Wrangler freedom plus pickup utility, yet early owners logged wander, bump steer, and clutches that overheated, cracked, and in a few cases exploded, sparking recalls and torque-limiting software patches. The reason this is happening: Wrangler architecture wasn't fully re-engineered for truck payloads. Add long-arm suspension angles and oversized tires, and small alignment errors multiply into violent oscillations. Manual gearbox rigs faced pressure plate failures under 20 miles, while roof panel seals dripped rain onto infotainment screens, shorting USB hubs. Backup cameras blinked out, triggering dash errors mid-parallel park. Sales hit 77K in 2021, but Consumer Reports slotted reliability near the bottom of mid-size rankings, urging caution. Adventurous aesthetics hide complex compromises. Inspect steering and clutch service bulletins and test at highway speed before hitching financial freedom to lifestyle marketing. Car number 19, Nissan Frontier. Retired firefighter Carl thought a proven Frontier would tow his base boat for stress-free weekends until strawberry pink transmission fluid oozed onto his driveway, the infamous coolant into ATF milkshake of death. Nissan's radiators cracked internally, flooding gearboxes that cost $4,000 to rebuild. But listen to this: the so-called new 2022 redesign debuted as Consumer Reports' least reliable mid-size pickup, dogged by rollaway recalls and dashboards that lit up like a pinball machine. Owners report rattling seat frames, phantom parking sensor alarms, and touchscreens freezing mid-navigation. Warranty queues stretch for weeks because launch year parts are scarce. Dealers juggle software patches while hardware backorders grow. National auction data show first-year Frontiers losing 18% of value in 12 months, double the class average. Reliability shouldn't be roulette. If you must have a Frontier, target a post-update model with documented cooling fixes and verified recall completions. Otherwise, Car number 20, Nissan Titan. Consider this, a full-size truck can win comparison tests yet still vanish from showrooms. If owners can't trust the drivetrain, Nissan chased Detroit's giants with the second-gen Titan, but 7-speed transmissions slammed into gear, Cummins diesels grenaded fuel pumps, and parking poles failed, letting parked trucks roll into traffic. It gets crazier. Nissan targeted 100K annual sales. By 2022, it barely cracked 15K while F-Series moved 53K. Consumer Reports pinned reliability worse than average, 4 years running, and J.D. Power ranked it dead last in resale. Aftermarket data show Titans costing 36% more per mile to maintain than an F50 EcoBoost, mainly for scarce driveline parts. Dealers quietly steered customers toward Armadas, leaving Titans to collect dust until Nissan announced discontinuation for 2024. Reputation meets reality. When a model's roadmap ends, so does vendor investment. Choose a platform with a future, not a sunset date. Turbo failures, cracked heads, limp mode commutes, each truck here proves a chrome badge can't paper over bad engineering. Want to flip the script? Our next deep dive spotlights 10 under-the-radar pickups that gain value while others sink. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the bargains hiding in plain sight. Final disclaimer. Not professional advice, consult a qualified expert as needed.